Wednesday Addiction. Humpin' it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro.
Hello and welcome, everyone. The week is almost over. You're halfway there. It's Wednesday, hump day, and you're now humping it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro. Get your mind out the gutter. There. Love it.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Doing good.
Doing well. Well,
Oh, man. Week's been going really smooth. Can't complain. Work staying steady. Not bad. Not bad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
busy. Yeah, just with school, you know, I didn't get a lot of time over the weekend because of the International Auto Show at the Convention Center, where we were displaying again this weekend. So I tried to do some homework. I brought my computer, tried to be a good student, but there was just too much going on, and I kind of failed at that. So just trying to catch up, and you know how that goes.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. But that's cool. So, the struggle is real when
Yeah.
it comes to school. Especially being an adult. And having a family. Oh, buddy, is the struggle real? So, I fully understand. Thankfully, I'm done. And like I tell everybody, it's like jail. I'm out, and I ain't never going back. I don't want no parts. I did what I had to do, and that's it. I accomplished my goal that I set out to do.
There you
So,
go.
Still can't escape the whole adulting thing, though.
unfortunately, now.
I just want to be a kid one more time.
I don't know. Would I go back to being a kid? I don't know, man. Listen, I don't know. That's a good thought though, for real. Because if you think about it, you ain't got to worry about working. Only things you got to worry about is playing, doing your chores, depending on your age, and having fun.
Yeah,
I'm
I
with you.
promise. I would never complain. I
Well,
would, I would do everything my parents asked, chores, and then some. I'd be like, yeah, no
I
complaints.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
so basically, you're talking about if you had the knowledge then that you do now, and then just going back to being able to enjoy yourself as a kid, or just being completely naive and in that childlike state again.
Good point.
Completely naive, being a child all over again. Of course, then again, nothing's changed, right? I'm still just a big child,
Well,
right? Just a big kid.
mm, well,
Dang.
I believe you've matured. I think
Thank
Listen,
you.
there you. That's wonderful.
life
Thank you.
experience forces you to do that, regardless if you want to or not.
This is that is so true. That's
Yes.
all a part of maturing and
Yeah.
becoming an adult. You know what I'm saying? Takes all the fun out of everything, just about.
Does that.
But it's all good. That's life. That's what it is. I don't know if I would honestly go back in time. That brings me to a good question. What would you change if you could go back in time and you had all the knowledge that you currently have? What would you change if you could go back in time?
Hmm.
Would you change anything? or would you leave it the same?
I think I would leave it the same, right? Because maybe some of those things that I chose to do led me to meeting certain people,
Mm,
right?
mm-hmm. I can dig
People
it.
that have, people that are still in my life right now. Um, no, I think everything happens for a reason.
Big
I'm fine with the
facts.
way everything turned out. I'm fine with
Okay.
the way everything turned out. There's some things I would critique, obviously, but
Right, right, right.
for the
That's
most for the most part,
no
I
major
don't think I'd go
changes.
back. No, I don't think I'd go back and change anything.
Okay. I can dig it. What about you, Mello?
I think I agree. Um, because if you did have the knowledge and you went back and started thinking, well, I would do this differently. I would do this instead. I would leave this situation or that whole thing, you don't know where you would end up, and it might not necessarily be in a better place than where you are now. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, as D83 said, everything happens for a reason, and every experience brings you to the point in your life where you are now, but it's also molded you into the person that you've become.
Mm,
And I wouldn't trade a lot of the life experience and wisdom I've gained from the experiences I've gone through,
mm-hmm.
um, just because it might not be any better
Right.
if you tried to change it.
That's facts too. You're right. You're right. A lot of people would, I think, have, oh man, if I could go back in time, I'd change everything. And that's a whole new
Mhm.
path you're gonna embark on. New either rewards or consequences, challenges, things like that that you never experienced. So, would it be better? Would you, at least you would have wisdom to make better decisions, I think. But
Mhm.
um, not necessarily, uh, would it, would it be, better? I don't know.
Because if you think about it, the catalysts that take you to these new decisions, these new experiences, there's always things that you can't control.
Big
So,
facts.
what kind of people, what kind of things would you encounter that would be out of your control that could, drastically change,
Big facts. Yep.
you know? So,
I don't know. I just know one thing I would do. I would remember all them lottery numbers that I played that I never won. I'd be a millionaire, billionaire, because I win every single one of them. No question.
that's, that's true.
I
But
keep
would your
everything the
life
same.
be any better?
I got money. I don't know. I'll let you know though. I will tell you. Let me find out. I want to find out for myself. Please. I will find out. Anyways, we can't turn back
And,
the hands of
and
time. What's
no.
up?
Oh, that's a wonderful R. Kelly song too, by the way.
Wait a minute. We
Turn it's not
song
not
was.
taking it like that.
I
It's
know.
turned back to hand of time. R. Kelly.
As I was saying, we ain't gonna say we're gonna name him Voldemort. We ain't gonna speak his name right now. He should not be spoken. No, sir. I know it,
Uh,
but thank y'all for tuning in. I didn't thank y'all initially, but thank y'all for tuning in. If I did, I'm gonna thank y'all again. So D83, what's going down, man? Listen,
oh, nothing much, man. This past weekend was awesome as far as sports are concerned. You had the NBA All-Star weekend.
mm,
That was fantastic, in my opinion. I think it's better than any other All-Star game, whether it be the the Pro Bowl, the MLB All-Star, Hockey All-Star. Look, the way they run it is fantastic.
yeah,
You got the you got the 3-point contest, you got the slam dunk contest.
I think those are some of the biggest attractions. Definitely the slam dunk.
Yeah.
Everybody looks forward to that dunk contest, man. I mean, you bring everybody out for that.
Oh yeah.
I personally don't follow NBA too much, but I will catch that dunk contest though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And this year's, winner Mac McClung,
Mm,
he's the shooting guard for the 76ers. He's actually from Virginia. Gate City, Virginia.
okay.
So he was the NBA G League Rookie of the Year 2022.
Uh,
Uh, He was probably the hottest topic about the NBA All Star Weekend.
I did hear about that. Even though I didn't catch
Mm.
it, I did hear about that. My man
Yeah,
putting
because the
VA on the
game.
map.
Yeah, yes, sir. The game was, but still, it is what it is. Just like every other All Star game.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't really play any defense. No one's trying to get hurt, which I understand.
yeah. So
I do understand.
maybe they shouldn't kind of like the NFL switched it up with the flag football for the Pro Bowl game. You know what I'm saying? Or the all. So maybe the
Well,
NBA should do something. Kind of just keep it like with contests or something like that. Who knows?
well, trust me, as many times as they were shooting half court shots with
Hmm.
people 20 feet away from 'em, I
Mm.
think they pretty much had a flag football game of their own.
Oh man, great day in the morning.
Oh God, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if any of y'all watch the UFC fights, but UFC's been
Occasionally.
doing this. UFC's been doing this great thing. They have the ESPN Plus app, and they have a bunch of free fights. So this past weekend there was a free fight, and this free fight was really, 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 really good. You had Jessica Andre. She is a former champion, right? She is a former, what is she, strawweight champion.
Okay.
Well, she's a two division fighter, right?
Mm.
She fought in the flyweight division
Mm-hmm.
against Erin Blanchfield. She's 10-1. The girl that she was fighting, she's a new upcomer. Now Jessica is 24-9. She lost in the second round.
Oh man.
Wow.
Rear naked choke. It was
Hey, listen,
crazy.
that rear naked choke will
Crazy.
get you every time.
Yes, indeed.
I love
Yes,
USC.
indeed.
I love UFC. Man,
Oh,
I
it's
love
it's
some UFC. I remember when it was still kind of underground. Excuse me. You had Ken Shamrock out there. That was way back before they had the 4-ounce gloves. It was just bare knuckle. You know what I'm saying? You got Royce Gracie out there. He was doing his Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Man, those were the
oh
good
yeah,
days, boy.
that was in UFC 1 and 2.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I watch it all the time,
Yes,
as much as I can.
indeed. Those were. Oh yeah. And they didn't have a weight class either. There was no weight class.
Exactly. Did you
None
ever
of that.
see that clip of that giant sumo dude going
Yes.
against? Hey, I don't know if he was a sumo or not, but this dude was massive. I
You-
mean, both vertically and horizontally. This
Yes,
guy was
indeed.
massive, and he went in
Yes,
there
indeed.
and he ended up losing. Everybody thought, yeah, listen, he was giving my man the business at first. I mean, giving him the business. Obviously he was like 3-4 times bigger than him.
Hmm.
But once he got to the ground, it was a wrap. He ain't had no
Oh.
ground
Yeah.
game. He couldn't move. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So it was crazy.
Speaking of sumo wrestlers, that fighters, I should say, that reminds me. What was the name of that fighter in the WWE or WWF back then? What was his name? Uh,
Which,
Rakishi?
Rikishi.
right?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
hey,
goodness.
hey, man, he was a disrespectful guy. He was a
Yes, indeed.
disrespectful guy. Ooh, this man rubbing his gluteus maximus in people's faces, bro. Yo, that's
Remember that?
disrespectful. Yo, you couldn't pay me enough. You could not
That
pay
was
me enough.
crazy.
Spray
Yeah,
butt crack in your
definitely.
face. That's disgusting, man. Sorry.
I would have put it like,
I
look, hey,
seen
I
the
want
video.
a new contract. Y'all ain't paying me enough.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
indeed.
That's disrespectful.
And and during this past free fight, one of the fighters, look, these UFC fighters are built different. That's why I love watching them. One of the fighters broke his hand. Not only did he finish the fight, he won.
Wow.
Mm.
Yes. I was like, yeah,
That's how
see,
they
as soon as I would have broke a finger and been like, I'm out. 3 years. 3 years, I'm out.
Hey man.
I didn't sign up for this.
You
I'm
right.
not built like this.
They are built different. Because I've seen
Yes.
Yeah.
a lot of them, because they do those low kicks, man, and snap their leg right in half. And then they don't
Mm.
Oh
even
yeah.
realize it, and then they step back on the broken leg and fold.
Oh.
I've seen that many a times, man.
Yeah. I've seen him.
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
my Anderson Silva. He did that.
Oh yeah.
That's my guy. Anderson Silva was a, I don't know.
Yes,
He's not
indeed.
fighting anymore. Monster, absolute monster. But he did a
Yeah.
low kick to somebody, shin to shin, boom, snapped that thing right in half.
Oh yeah, that dude was super nasty. I loved watching Silva, though he should have retired sooner. But
Mm.
I get it. The heart wants what the body can't handle. I
Exactly,
get it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
You
Ain't no
know.
different than
I get it.
football players. You know why people stay in the
Oh
game
yeah.
so long. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of football, that was my favorite part of this whole weekend. So you had the return of the XFL.
yes,
Mm.
Nasty. I loved it.
it's like
I
that.
watched every single game. They had 2 games on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
2 games on Sunday. There's only 8 teams, but it was awesome. So, The Rock is part of that. He's part owner of it.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
I thought it was super awesome. You had former NFL players on there, like AJ McCarron, 2-time national champion with Alabama.
Okay.
I
Well,
I always was rooting for him when he entered the NFL, but apparently they see something that obviously I don't see.
Right.
That's why they
Right.
get paid that type of money. But he was in there. You got Austin Prohl, who's the son of Ricky Prohl, the former wide receiver for the Rams, which that may
Mm-hmm.
hurt your feelings, Maestro, because he was part of that Greatest Show on Turf team that beat the Titans in the Super Bowl.
Mm.
But um,
You need to
I'm
bring that up.
sorry to rehash. I'm
No,
sorry
no.
to have to rehash that for you, but
I need a moment.
it's okay.
I'm good now.
Oh snap!
Don't take long. I'm good.
Oh God! One of the teams had quarterback Paxton Lynch, who was the first round draft pick from the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
he still, to me, he showed why he still should have probably went in the 6th round. But either way, be as it may,
Ooh,
it is what it is.
it's cold blooded.
You had coaches on there, Rod Woodson,
Okay.
Hines Ward, Wayne Phillips, and then Greg Williams.
Uh,
Yeah, Greg Williams got a big history in the NFL. I don't know if you remember correct, but he was the defensive coordinator for your team at one point in time.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, for the Titans. Yeah, he was a defensive coordinator for the Tennessee
Man,
Titans.
that's good stuff, man. Hey, listen,
He-
I like to see him prosper now.
And he was also part of that what they end up calling that? That remember when he got in trouble for paying players to Bounty Gate.
Mm,
Bounty Gate. Remember he was part
I
of the
remember that.
Saints team? Yeah, that made headlines. So he was part of the Bounty Gate when he was the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm.
He was paying players to injure their
mm.
opponents. Yes, indeed. So you got like
Wow.
Wow.
extra incentive. You got an extra incentive to injure players.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh,
That's
he
crazy,
got in
man.
all kinds of trouble. Yeah, the Saints lost. They got heavily penalized. They lost draft picks. They got fined. He was banned from the NFL. So was Coach Sean Payton for a brief moment. He got banned for a year due to that.
Why don't I remember that, man?
That was right after the year because the Saints went to the Super Bowl against
Mm-hmm.
the Colts, and the Saints won. And one of the biggest parts of that whole Saints team, in my opinion, was that defense. That defense was nasty. Again, defensive coordinator was Greg Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One thing that stood out to me in that particular Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
I understand it's a long time ago, but he had, because he was going against Peyton Manning.
Right.
He said he designed 2 separate game plans, and he had never done that before. He had set up a first half game plan and then a second half game plan. Said he had never done that before, but he had to for Peyton Manning.
Of course.
So Greg Williams is defensive coordinator for the DC Defenders, which I like the name a whole lot better than the Washington Commanders. Just
But why do they?
throwing that.
Why are they like opposites?
Just throwing that.
Commanders and defenders. I guess it's not really opposite. It kind of sounds opposite though. But I do like
Yeah.
the defenders better. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
agree with that.
I like the DC Defenders. They play again Thursday night. Their team recorded 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. One was returned for a touchdown, and then they ended the game with a fumble recovery. They sacked the quarterback, 4th and goal on the 2-yard line. The game ended with the defense sacking them, stripping the ball. Game over.
Mm.
That's what Greg Williams does, though.
Yeah.
You know.
That's dope, though, man. That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
So that'll give that's a good alternative to, of course NFL is over with now. But sounds like XFL is out there, Y'all check it out.
Yeah.
Love to hear some
definitely.
comments on that.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I said, they got games on tomorrow night, and then they got one game on tomorrow night, and then games will be coming back on Saturday and then Sunday again. So
Gotcha. Okay.
it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
Man, takes me back to the days when I was playing football. Played a little semi-pro. We ain't gonna go there though. It's more of an embarrassing story than anything. So we're gonna leave that alone.
I mean, it was still fun times.
It was.
Correct.
It was something different, But we just know your boy was out there. Wasn't successful, but I was out there. That's all that matters. I showed up with heart. I was ready to play.
Okay.
Yeah, we just gonna leave it at that. All right then. Mello, you play any sports? What sports did you play?
Outside of neighborhood sports, I didn't really play anything. Now, I was in the marching band at school. That was physically stressful, but that's about it.
Not physically stressful. You made it sound so demanding, man.
It was. It's in the
Okay.
middle of summer. Anybody who knows who's been in the marching band, back me up on this one. Practice usually starts in July, the hottest part of the summer. You don't go out on the field at first because, at least at my high school, the football team was out on the field. So we had to practice on the blacktop in July weather. So me being in the drum line, I had heavy equipment on. Heavy equipment in the middle of summer. Yeah, it was very physically demanding.
Listen,
So,
I want to say I was traumatized because for all of our viewers, Mello and I were siblings, and we're not too far in age. She's definitely older than me. Definitely older than me.
oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry.
By like 2 years.
By a lot, a whole lot.
Too much information.
Oh, what the world?
My bad. I apologize.
Sorry.
Yo, so when I was on the field practicing, right? 'Cause that's the same time football practice is. They were over there, practicing their marching band stuff. And all I remember throughout the entire summer was hearing Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice theme all summer long. The entire team was so mad. We were so tired of hearing Beetlejuice every day. We want to go and tackle the entire marching band. We thought about it too. That's facts. I'm trying to tell you, we thought about it.
Oh,
It's not
Absolutely.
nice.
I don't care.
oh God.
Everybody in the band was about to get it, including the director. Everybody was about to get it because the coaches wanted them to.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Why every single day Beetlejuice?
How do you think you get better? You practice.
Look, practice somewhere else. We try
Where?
to practice. The only thing we
Oh,
can do is
wait.
we seen Beetlejuice on the sideline. That's all we can do. We can't even focus on the game. I can't, man.
Oh.
Beetlejuice.
But yeah, outside of marching band, I didn't do a whole lot. I tried out for the softball team, which I didn't make it. But just neighborhood sports. That's about it. I watch sports on TV for a bit, but
That don't count.
namely baseball.
That don't count. I said what sports.
I intensely watched it.
Excuse me. I guess that was playing, huh? Is it that serious?
In my mind.
Oh, okay. All right. Were your eyeballs sweating? I mean, Golly. Intensely watching it. My bad. I apologize. I don't want no trouble.
No, but that's it for me.
Baseball. Actually, that's actually what I used to watch a lot of baseball. But when they had the back-to-back strikes in the early '90s,
Mm,
did it for me.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
No longer a baseball
Just
fan.
I watch it, but not like I used to. It took a lot of
Mhm.
fun out of it.
I got you. Okay. Hey, it is what it is. You know, my pops was really big on baseball. So we used to sit, he was like
Yes.
a Yankees fan. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. And, I used to enjoy watching it with him. But, after he
Yes.
passed, I just kind of, baseball really
Fell
wasn't. It was more
off.
for the time, the bonding time, that I like. So
Oh yeah.
just
Absolutely.
watching it now. I'll take the kids, every now and then to a Richmond Squirrels game. And they like it for about the first 5 innings. Then they're ready to go. So, I am too at that point.
It's
Listen,
Baseball, I mean, is a good event to take the kids to because you
yeah,
got, the food, you can talk in between. You're not,
yeah,
you're gonna miss with so much. It is a very good family,
yes.
sporting event.
But let me tell you, without commentary, the TV commentary is probably the most boring sport to watch aside from golf.
Mm.
I'm just
true.
saying, especially if
Mm.
it's, not really a lot of home runs being hit and, it's not a big rivalry. Like, it's almost like watching paint dry. Personal opinion.
Oh
Y'all
yeah.
don't hate me. I'm
Oh yeah.
just saying. It's just me.
Have you ever played golf?
I sure have. Putt putt.
Mini golf. There we
Oh,
go.
Don't hate. Don't hate. Listen, y'all don't
my
hate.
man.
I'm a monster in putt putt. Come see me. Come see me. I listen. Y'all don't want the smoke. I'm trying to tell you. I beat my kids. Don't matter. I don't discriminate. You step on the field, hey, you
Mm.
better be ready to play.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. A little too competitive.
No,
My kids might
no,
stop
not at
talking.
all.
But
Look, you
yeah,
pick them, you pick them up, you pick them up next time. You be like, hey, we're going putt putt.
hey,
It's on. I heard what you said.
that's right. Listen, and you putting all your little lunch monies down too. That's how it
Oh
works.
my
All
gosh.
your little lunch
Oh,
monies, whatever you,
God.
yep. And listen, empty them pockets. It's on.
Your allowance too?
Yeah, listen, all of it. I want all of it.
Mhm.
Then I give it right back because I mean, I gave it to him anyway. So it's just the fact of the matter. I beat him.
Yeah,
I
I
got that.
won.
That's how my pops was. He was super competitive.
Yes,
Card
he
games, board
was.
games, didn't matter. Didn't matter if I was 2 or 12. You caught the same whooping every single time. Didn't matter.
Let me tell you something. My dad back in the day, when he would teach us how to play a game, he was going all in. He was not pulling back, holding back anything. You got the full force of that whipping
And he was
because,
nasty. He was nasty at it. Like this man had multiple years to perfect that craft, and he just unleashed it on us every time, and it made fun of us. I'm
That's
traumatized.
crazy because every time I saw him, he was so soft spoken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
he
soft
had a
spoken.
competitive side. Yes, that was my dad. He was all of those things. Um,
don't let that sheepskin fool you. There's a
yes.
monster under there, boy. Ooh, it's
But
all good.
the thing about it, it wasn't, like in a bad way or anything. He was just very competitive and he enjoyed just competing. It was, so much fun for him. But in turn, what that did to us, it made us better players because, it's not like we were working our way up trying to perfect skills. I mean, we were perfecting skills, but we were starting at a level up here as opposed to down here. He didn't water it down for us.
Trial by fire.
So,
That's what it was. Trial by just throw us in there. You sink or
it-
swim.
yeah.
It's cold blooded.
And that's where I inherited my competitive spirit
Oh, get out of here.
because,
We don't want to hear that.
oh, is there a little hate I detect?
Hey, ain't no hate. It's facts. Come see me. What you want to do?
Come see me on Words with Friends.
Hey, nah, that's all right. I'm good.
Son,
I'm good. I'm good. That's disrespectful the way she beat people on that game. Listen, I know she cheat.
I do not.
Ain't no way.
What-
That's
what-
disrespectful.
What's the game? What's the game called?
Words with Friends.
Words with friends.
It's like a Scrabble
So-
type game. You know, similar to Scrabble, but it's got some
Ah,
different rules and stuff. It's on your phone, mobile
okay.
device, whatever.
Okay.
Just disrespectful.
Hmm.
If anybody wants to play it, don't do it. Just don't do it. She cheats. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That is not true.
How many times have you lost now, Maestro?
0, and put like a 6 in front of that. It's bad.
Hmm.
It's pretty bad.
Oh my! You don't lose because you don't play. Every time I start a game with you, you don't finish it.
Listen, because who wants to go through that every time? I'm not going through that no more. Absolutely not.
Look,
You
let
keep
me
your
tell
cheats.
you guys a little story.
Now listen.
This is story time.
You
No,
keep your
it's not
cheats
even
over
like
there.
that. What?
Keep your cheats over there.
Joe, ever since Maestro and I were young, we would play video games. Like, that's our thing. We were gamers. I would get beat relentlessly and just mercilessly, especially in Halo, first person shooter games. But I never stopped. You would never find anyone that would try harder than me. I took my L's like an adult and I kept with it. And I still played.
Hey, that's big.
For this guy
That's
here,
big facts. That's big facts. Listen.
look, he loses at a word game and then he doesn't want to play anymore. Look,
Listen.
I admit I'm not that good at shooting games. I love video games. I'm more into RPG, that sort of thing, or MMOs. But I still stuck with it. And you know what? I still enjoyed it.
I don't appreciate the shade that you throwing my way right now.
It
I'm
sounds
just
like
saying.
Sound like she calling me a quitter. That's what it sounds like. That's
Maybe.
a challenge. Listen, hey, after this podcast, we getting on them Halo sticks.
watch. Oh,
No, we're getting on these words with friends.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about
look,
it.
look, Maestro's gonna be like, "Hey, I can't play. My fingers. See, I got this finger issue. See,
I
they
got
don't
carpal
feel
tunnel.
right. I can't
Carpal
hurt.
tunnel.
Yeah,
Can't do it.
I just
So how are you gonna
can't do
play
it.
some Halo?
Hey, listen, it's a whole different ball game. I don't use those same muscles.
Be
You
like, oh
use
look,
more.
it's healed.
Exactly. I don't use them.
Call of Duty, same thing.
Hey, listen,
It's very intense.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know nothing about with no words. Friends, I ain't never lose. That's the end of the story.
Okay. We'll leave it there then. To be continued.
It's a rivalry, sibling rivalry going on. Y'all witness this firsthand. Man, it's all good though. Mello, listen, go on, take us down to Squareville. I know you got something good for us.
Of course.
Let's get back. I had to do it. I had to do it.
Okay. So I think last podcast we talked about the fact that we were traveling to San Diego in a few weeks. It is a couple weeks now. One thing I wanted to touch on with traveling is what you should include. Now, everybody knows how to pack for traveling, of course. Some people travel more than others. It's second nature. But for those who might not travel as much, or for those who might go to a place where, you might not have some of the creature comforts of home or being in the States.
Like being out in the sticks where you like to go?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
I'm talking about
my
actual
bad.
vacationing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I make checklists for everything. Literally everything. That's how I stay organized. But some of the things that people might not think about when they do get ready to go on trips is having not necessarily checklists, but lists of like certain phone numbers. So you always want phone numbers to, let's say, where you're going, your hotel where you're going to stay, the rental car company, things of that nature. Say something happens, you lose your phone. How many of us actually remember phone numbers? Let's be honest.
I can't remember what I did yesterday, so you can forget that. I'm just saying.
So you always want to have at least like a hard copy printed list of, important phone numbers like that, but also
Okay.
important phone numbers of friends, family, your banking institution in case you lose your bank card, something of that nature. Let's say like your bag gets stolen, your phone's in it. Just keep something with you in your luggage that you don't carry with you. You can keep it in the hotel room of these important numbers. Your doctor, in case something happens, you might need to coordinate care from wherever it is you are. Um, your medication list, because maybe not everybody remembers all the medications, the dosages, the names of everything they're taking. I know I don't, so I have a list especially for that. But also to also keep a list, or make a list for those of your family and friends that are at home, to be able, to kind of get in touch with you, places to reach out in case there's an emergency of some sort. You never know what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something good to keep in mind, is always have lists of important phone numbers, medications, things of that nature. Maybe not always traveling, but you should also make lists of some of the important documents as well. Um, like your passports, your license, insurance cards. Um,
Hey.
because if you were to lose them, it's easier to get them replaced if you have at least a photocopy of them. And this doesn't count for just traveling. This counts too for something I want to talk about too. Like prepping for emergencies. You always want to have those types of documentation, copies of those documentation.
Hold on.
Um,
What emergency you talking right now? What we need all that for an emergency? What you trying
I'm
to tell
talking
us?
about, no, I'm
You
talking
never know.
about like bugging out. For anybody who might not be familiar with the term bugging out, it's just basically having like emergency supplies ready in case there is something substantial that happens and you have to leave on the fly. So a lot of people might have heard the term bug out bags. So it's basically like a book bag or some sort that you have like a lot of essential items, um, your lists and numbers and documentation as well. Um, but things that you would need, like if you might have to go out and rough it for a little bit. Um, like camping supplies in a way, but it's more like survival supplies. Change of clothes. Let's say for instance, um, and we've had these in the past. Oh, there's a hurricane barreling and it looks like it's gonna be a Cat 3 hitting right along the coast. So for those of you who might not know, in Richmond, Virginia, we're not far from the beach, the Chesapeake Bay, the Atlantic Ocean. So we get a lot of weather here. Hurricanes are definitely one of them.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We're usually lucky that we don't have to really make any big moves like further inland, because when it hits, it usually doesn't hit us too hard. But sometimes those hurricanes can spurn tornadoes. Now, we've had situations where there's just been a tornado outbreak from some of the um, hurricane systems, just throwing off these circulating cells. So, if you need to get up and get out right away, let's say, hey, things don't look too safe around here. Let's have a bag of essential items, a little bit of water, a little bit of food, change of clothes, important medications, documents, things of that nature, get up and go. Um, that's something that, might be a conversation to have. I'm not talking about a humongous situation like nuclear fallout or anything. I'm not getting that deep into it.
Hey
I know
man,
there
hey
are
man, hey man,
people
hey man, what you doing right now?
people
Right
out
now.
there who take it that
Mm,
seriously. But I'm just talking about just essentials. But I think it's something good to have. And, make your little checklists. There are tons of checklists online for
mm,
bug out bags, packing, um, just emergency items. And these can also double as your supply, emergency supplies during like blizzards and so forth, too. So it's always good to have something like that around in case you have to get up, get out. You have all your essentials instead of a situation arising and then trying to look for all of this stuff wherever it is.
then you got to scramble and panic and all
Yeah.
of that stuff. Yeah, that's smart though.
And you forget, and you
That's yeah,
forget.
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope for real. Cause you listen, I joke about I'm making these faces, but listen, we living in some tough times right now. The world is seems to be at each other's throat. Everybody, all the nations. So, you never know. Let's be
You
honest.
never know.
So it is. It's better to be prepared and not need than to need and not be prepared.
Exactly.
So, man,
Yeah.
that
It's
that was
funny.
scary.
It's crazy because a couple weeks ago I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about cell phones and stuff, and how I used to be able to retain numbers really well because when we were growing up, you had a home phone,
Hmm.
and you didn't
Exactly.
have the luxury of this phone saving them for you. So I would
Mhm.
retain them right here, and I would go, oh yeah, that number is 3068 or
Hmm.
4761 or
Hmm.
this and this, and now with the luxury of having these devices, you can just store it, and you don't have to put any thought into it. You just
Store it and
click
forget
Maestro.
it.
You just click Maestro. Boom, I'm calling Maestro,
Yep.
and I don't even know what your number is.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's
so
true.
I'm with you on that. If you're going out of town, you're traveling, you
Hmm.
lose your phone. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's big facts, man. It's good stuff.
I think it's important for us to kind of, keep that in mind because everything is automated and there's so much technology today. We forget how to actually do things manually.
Mm,
And, there's there's always a chance technology could go out, but if you can't retain the information on your own, at least have something as a backup
that's
to at
right
least
there.
have the important things so
Yeah,
you can reach out.
that's dope. I feel that, man. I feel that. Yeah. And then but I think the other part too is it wouldn't hurt to keep some essentials in your vehicle, right? Um,
Absolutely.
'Cause listen, I was in Georgia. What was this back in 2014, 2015? I can't remember when they had that snowstorm. It was like two. I say snowstorm, but it's like 2 inches, right? But mind you, how often does Georgia get snow? And it was absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. I'm talking, people stuck in their cars for hours upon hours, overnight to the next day because the interstates were jam packed. You couldn't get anywhere. People had to abandon their cars. It looked like an apocalyptic scene out of a movie. Cars littered on the streets, it's desolate, no trap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. But a lot of people struggled in that scenario. Number one, because they couldn't run their cars all the time when they ran out of gas, so they lost heat. They didn't have the heat source, right? So
Hmm.
keep in one of those, emergency blankets. They fold up real
Yes.
small, like,
Mm. Oh
real
yeah.
small, like throw that in your car. Some water. Just get you
Hmm.
a case of bottled water. Just keep it in there. Because
Yeah.
it
Remember,
ain't. Go ahead.
I'm with you because while I'm listening to the two of you discuss this, I'm remembering last winter. Remember here in Virginia when all those people got stuck on 95.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Same scenario. Same scenario.
Imagine if they would have had those items. See,
Hmm.
if look after listening to you two, I'll pack this stuff up and then see. Look, I would have been one of those people stuck in there. I'd be like, hey, Look at me. Look at me.
Yes, indeed.
I was listening to the Humpin' It podcast.
Exactly.
I am
Listen,
good to go.
we're
I
gonna
am
There
learn
you
you a
go.
covered.
little something on this show. We're gonna learn you
I
something.
am covered.
But that's good stuff though. That's good stuff, man.
Yes,
Listen,
indeed.
we all know the only thing that is constant is change, right? So you never
Yes.
know what scenario is going to be brought to you. Be prepared as best you can for it. Can't prepare for everything, but hey, some small steps, right? Just some small steps, like Mello was telling us. So I'm with it. Cause listen, I got my bag. I'm packed.
Yeah,
I'm
me
ready to
too.
go. Listen, you tell me I got 10 minutes to get out, ain't no question. Grab my bag and I'm out.
That's
So
right.
you know, just something to keep in mind, y'all. Hey, so so,
Definitely.
man, I feel smarter after hearing you. Feel like
Well, that's the whole premise.
my light bulb is half on now. It's not all the way
Hmm.
You should hang out in Squareville a little more
on. No,
often.
I'm good. I am good. I'm good. Lord. we need me some caffeine or something to mess with you.
Cuts like a knife. Oh.
No, but all jokes aside, that was dope. That was good stuff, man. That was informative. I like that.
Awesome.
I
So,
you know,
so what you got for us, Maestro?
listen, I ain't got nothing informative like that.
It doesn't have to be.
Except, listen, you right, because I ain't in Squareville. I'm going to pass that on by. Even if that's the last bathroom for the next 50 miles, oh well. I ain't going there.
After all I just taught you, how dare you?
I'm just saying. Listen, that's your space. I don't want to invade. You know, I know my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to drive right on past.
Oh, snap. Are you gonna at least wave as you're passing,
I
or?
don't know. It depends. If she's standing out there, I might wave.
Mm.
I might pass
The
her.
disrespect.
Man, it's, I think about it. It's like when you go to Toonville, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, yes.
Oh
Oh,
man.
my
Anyway,
goodness. Love that movie.
that was a man. Come
It
on,
was great.
amazing movie, absolute fire.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Absolute
Roger Rabbit.
fire. Listen,
Oh,
for all the young cats out there, well, we were young when it was. Even if you weren't young, it doesn't matter. Why they do that to us? Why they make Jessica Rabbit look like that? You know what that does
I've
to
been,
a young boy?
yes, indeed.
Mess you all up. Why she had to look like that though? Hey, anyways, we're gonna move
Oh.
on from that subject.
My mom was steadily walking in there. Why is he watching it again? It's all he's watching. Like, why does he just keep watching this over and over and over?
Oh.
Favorite movie.
Hmm.
Exactly. All right, then. We gonna turn left on that one. We ain't gonna continue down that street. But y'all know, for me, I'm gonna bypass Squareville and go straight to Anime Street. That's where I live. In tech space. That's what I should say. Tech space. Because I love all things tech. I love anime, gaming, tech, gadgets, and gizmos. That's me. So, but I got one for y'all. I know I talked about a couple of some animes that I watched last time. One specifically was God Tower. Dope. If y'all ain't check it out, check it out. Fairy Tale. Let's talk about it. I know my fellow anime watchers, my fellow weebs, we know what that's about. That anime is absolute dope. It is one of, I would say, it's probably my top 5. And that's tough because I've seen a whole lot. I might be ashamed to tell you how much anime I've watched in my lifetime, but that's all right. But one of the things I like, especially when it comes to Fairy Tale, man, and anime in general, is obviously storyline, right? Gotta have a dope storyline. That goes for anything, live action, whatever you're watching. Character development. Listen, you can't have the same characters acting the same way throughout the whole anime. And let me tell you something, Fairy Tale is dope. Storyline, situational just different situations they come into, the different challenges they face, man. So the premise is it's a fantasy anime, right? Let's put that out there, magic and all of that. So if you don't like it, this I'm sorry, y'all. You don't know what you're missing. First off, but definitely about magic. But it's about these this particular um, it's focused on one particular guild, right? They call them magic guilds. It's called Fairy Tale, right? It's just about the story of this guild, how they kind of came to be, the members in that guild, and the challenges they face throughout, and just how they grow together, right? It really kind of starts off with this one particular character named Lucy. I'm not gonna give y'all the whole thing, but y'all gotta watch it. It is several seasons long. I just want to forewarn you,
Mhm.
but it's worth it. But Lucy comes into the guild. She's looking for Fairy Tale. She wanted to join Fairy Tale, ever since she knew how to do magic or whatever. And she runs into Natsu. That's his name, Natsu Dragneel. And listen, you talking about a character, absolute he comedy, seriousness, determination. Like he's your ultimate, like almost your ultimate like hero character, like what you would envision a hero character to be. Natsu fits it, just I mean, his spirit never wavers. He's always gonna do right, regardless, and he's loyal to a fault. He's gonna stick by his skill. And really, it's kind of I kind of took it as their story because that's how I kind of started off. But they have an interesting relationship throughout this whole thing. Not necessarily, I'm not saying romantic, but a very interesting interaction and relationship throughout the series, man. But
Mm.
again, it just kind of takes you through, the very start, getting introduced to the members, and just how they grow, continue to grow together, and they never separate. And about the camaraderie. It's amazing, an amazing anime. If you like, happy stories, you got some really good moments there. You got some sad moments too. But I think all of that
Mhm.
encompasses a great show, right? A great anime. So,
Agreed.
Fairy Tale, check it out. Listen, it's gonna be Crunchyroll. You can probably catch it on. I don't know if Netflix had it or not, but Hulu. You check some of those out. I don't know if they have it, but definitely Crunchyroll, High Dive. Some of your big name ones, they're gonna have it. But
So you
mhm.
you said it was in your top 5, so
Yeah, it's in my
better
top five,
than better than Full Metal Alchemist or
bro.
Tower of God, because those are the ones you talked about last week.
Well,
So
Tower of
it's still
God's
not
not.
better than
Nah, Tower of God's not in my top five. That's
it's
that.
not.
That was no. It was a good anime, but listen, I've seen some absolute masterpieces. Absolute masterpieces. Um, Demon Slayer,
Mhm.
Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia is probably up there.
Yeah. What about
Uh,
Attack on Titan?
Oh man, Attack on Titan is amazing. Like, oh
Yeah.
man,
I, I
it.
noticed one thing with all these anime stuff:
Mhm.
the names. The
Yes.
names always catch me. Like, dang, I
Yeah,
gotta watch that.
exactly. And listen, some of them do disappoint, but most of them, like the ones that are in my top list, listen, those are must sees, must sees.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is kind of like it's a much darker style anime, real kind of gritty, just but it's fire. It's
Hmm.
fire. But yes, check it out. That's my recommendation for the day. Fairy Tale. If y'all ain't seen it, please go see it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Watch a couple of episodes. Hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you think. I'm interested to hear it. And if you got
Absolutely.
recommendations, let us know. Because I think D83. He's kind of new to the game, but he's gonna check them out. Mello, she down with it, even though she made fun of me for years for watching anime, as if I was some kind of outcast, you know, some kind of alien. But find out. You see all that stuff on her back wall. Stop playing.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
that's all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
There's some Dragon Ball Z. I've got Demon Slayer.
Mm, mm. The
It's
diff-
real.
mm. If y'all only knew the stuff I went through, it's all good. I ain't mad at you.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Fairy Tale, check it out. Another thing I wanted to talk about. This has been it's been all over the news. I don't know if how much y'all follow the news, but it's more in the tech world. We're talking AI.
Mm.
Let's talk about that for a second. Chat GTP.
Mm.
So if you haven't heard about it, Chat GTP is an AI chatbot that supposedly is the most advanced chatbot right now there is.
Hmm.
I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's how accurate that is, but factually accurate. But um, so basically, they're getting this thing to write, college papers and taking bar exams, and it's
Wow.
passing, and yeah, like the
Seriously.
conversational, like yeah, it's advanced, right? So that brings up the whole idea of sentient AI. Will we, at all the science fiction movies that we've seen, right? Let's go to Terminator. Come on,
Terminator.
let's go Skynet.
I was I was just I was just getting ready to say that. Yep.
Are we creating Skynet in real life?
Hmm.
And you got different opinions on both sides of the field. You know,
Right.
Certainly there are huge benefits that AI can give. Right, AI is using a lot of technology that we aren't probably aware of. Right, a lot of the daily electronics we have, a lot of the social media apps that we use, a lot of the different technology softwares that we use already have AI as part of it, right? And for y'all or y'all that don't know, forgive me, AI is artificial intelligence, right? In a nutshell, if you watch the sci-fi movies, it's almost basically building a computer or a software that mimics uh, human beings, right?
Yeah.
And it's real. It's out there. A lot of it's probably driven by sci-fi, right? You know, and the those movies that we used to love. But how do y'all feel about it? Are y'all? We're now at a point where one of the bigger things too is that they found out that this Chat GTP can also be tricked, for lack of a better term, to create malware. So malware is like computer viruses, ransomware, things
Mhm.
like that, right?
Mm.
Um, it can be tricked or used to write malicious code, malware.
Hmm.
Brings me to this, there's good that can come from it, but there's also the dark side that comes with everything else, right? There's always two sides to the coin, you
Right.
know? And, a lot of people are just, against it. And they're saying that, this Chat GTP could be the first version of Skynet, right? That we've created. Now, obviously, it's not there yet. And there's a lot of flaws with it. But according to the developers, there's some. But I would encourage people just to go and check it out for yourself, right? You go to,
Hmm.
I believe it's Open AI. All right, forgive me on that. I'll get that specific information. But if you just Google Chat GTP, it'll take you to the website. You do have to create an account. It's a free account. You don't have to pay for it. But in order to interact with it, right? But on the main site itself, it gives you examples of what the program can do and the conversations that this program can create. You ask it a question, and it gives this well defined answer, like as if you were talking to a human, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I went on there the other day. I didn't create an account, but I'm going to do it because I want to see what it's about. You know,
Hmm.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how on point it is, and how advanced it truly is.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I'm about to check into that.
I don't know.
Definitely.
It might be the
How long has it been out?
I mean, they've been working on it for years, but recently it's made headline news. Um, Now, part of that, I believe it's probably a lot of marketing, right, to
Right.
get the name out there. Saying to get people aware of it. But for your people that don't fully understand, technology, or some people that are naturally going to be skeptical, or your
Hmm.
conspiracy theorists, it's the devil. You feel me? Like, there's some really strong
Oh yeah.
negative opinions about it. But
Right.
for your people that are more tech savvy and are in the craft, right? It's an amazing creation. So, like I said, there's always two sides to the coin. Check it out for yourself. See what it's about. See what you think.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask it questions. And again, like I said, it's one of the main concerns now is college students using it to write their papers and do their work for them. Because apparently it's really good at that. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Yes,
We'll see.
indeed. Well, yes, indeed. Well, thanks for joining us today. That's going to do it for our time. Make sure you follow the Humpin' It podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Discord. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify now. And yes, I almost forgot. Next time you're humping it, think of us. Get your mind out the gutter. I'm D83.
I love
And the maestro.
We love you guys. 2 fingers.
Peace.
Peace.